Hello, Jess. I'm a 49-year-old, separated, and a mother of two grown-ups, a 25-year-old and a 21-year-old. Now, my daughter's the eldest and has been married for 3 years. I have no grandchildren yet, and I'm already about to give my kids a third brother or sister. Jess, I'm 4 months pregnant, and my children do not know. They don't even know I'm seeing someone. I've been involved with this cute 38-year-old lawyer, and I think things are moving too fast. No, he's not my lawyer. I have a lawyer for my legal issues, but this guy is security. He is honesty. He's transparency. Jess, he's my comfort and my safety. To be honest, I've never experienced anything like it. And it's not like I'm some rich sugar mummy for him to be taking advantage of. He's well established. He has given me a key to his house. He calls me, he texts me, he checks on me 1,000,000 times a day. He empathizes with my past fears and struggles with my husband. I've reason to finally file for a divorce. My husband is in a relationship with his girlfriend, reason for our separation. Yet our children want us back together. How do I break the news to my children about the pregnancy? Or should I just keep it to myself? Whew, this sounds like a movie. So she's obviously still married, they're separated, so she's technically still married. Husband has a girlfriend, reason why they separated.
Still with her.
And now she's met a 38-year-old lawyer and is pregnant for him for 4 months. And has 2 adult children, 25, 21.
Yeah.
Cool. Gil, over to you.
but her kids know she's no more with her husband, even though
they're trying to get them together
officially, but they're no more together. So it's not like
separated.
She's doing what the father did. You know, like let's say he cheated, but I won't say the woman is doing that because.
But they're separated, so technically she's still married. No,
well. At the end of the day, you see, her kids, they're not kids. They're not like 2 and 3 and 4. They are adults. I'm sure they've had their own relationships as well.
One is married, you know.
So, mommy, I always say that sometimes we forget that our parents are also human beings. First of all, like she said, she went through hell with their father. I mean, it's nice to want your parents to always be together because that's what kids want. But they forget to know that the parents also have their own struggles. Sometimes they hide it from us.
True.
But then it gets to a point where now it's glaring, everybody can see. So obviously their parents cannot be together anymore. So when you start having your own relationships, you will now get to understand what your parents also go through. When you're younger, you don't know. They will even show you when they fight and stuff. So you think that's what I used to think.
Right.
Until I started dating, I realized that you had to forgive a lot, compromise a lot. So then it should make you be a bit more understanding towards your mom.
Right.
But if she says she wants to hide a pregnancy, you can't hide pregnancy.
Nope.
No. Eventually it will come out. So I understand why she wants to, put them first, but she should know that she's also a human being. The kids are going to start having their own. One is already having their own life. The next one is going to. She might be alone.
Right.
So if she's found somebody and she's old enough to know what she has is a good thing because she had a bad thing before and it's working well for her. I mean, she should be able to just sit them down and tell them, and they should be able to understand that she's a person as well. She, she needs, her business to be taken care of, if you know what I mean. Like
she got needs.
She got needs, exactly. So they should understand from that point that she also needs to be happy. If she makes a mistake, fine. I mean, it happens. So I think it shouldn't be that difficult.
She also asked whether she should keep it. The pregnancy.
That's what she's worried about. Keeping it or telling them. Oh. If she says she's serious about the guy seems serious. That's what she's saying. Like, he ticks all her boxes, well, for now. And if she says she's not that rich, but if she's financially sound and the guy is also okay and they feel like they're a team and they're partners in this whole thing, she should keep it.
The age doesn't matter to you? 49, he's 38?
I don't have a problem. I'm a very open-minded person. I'm sure you realize that. So I don't care if the woman is older or what. As long as we are clicking.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the age thing is so archaic, So if they click,
that's it.
You should go for it.
Okay.
Go for it, yeah.
Olivia, let me come to you. What do you think?
This one is very dicey, okay, but it's not beyond you. This is what I think. I think that first things first. This is such an amazing opportunity to just officially divorce your husband. But before that, I'm wondering how the guy feels. Does the guy you're in a relationship with know that you're pregnant? And what is his whole mood towards the entire news? Does he look like somebody who is excited about the pregnancy? Has he given you the assurance that he wants to be with you full time? Like he wants to take your relationship to the next level? What have both of you decided on? What do both of you want? Do you see what I mean? So that you don't go ahead of yourself. But because you guys have been separated for the longest time, I wish that you had sort of, gone through the divorce procedures with your husband and sort of cut all ties before getting into this relationship. But clearly that didn't happen. So if I were you, I'll just check exactly where you're at with this guy in this relationship. And then that would be able to help you make an informed decision. With regards to your children, okay, I think that this is going to be too much for them. As much as they're older, you know how children sort of put their parents in the box, they expect their parents to behave in a certain way and all of that. But then again, you're human and you also have a heart. And technically, it was your husband who decided to go all naughty and decided to cheat on you, and the reason for your separation. So this is what I think. I think that you should break the news gradually to your children. You can't tell them, okay, I'm in a relationship and I'm pregnant, and it will be too much. I think that you should take time in terms of, okay, you should separate the duration within which you tell them. So I think first things first, you can slowly tell them that, oh, okay, based on how things went with your father, you don't see yourself ever coming back to him. You've been able to live by yourself independently. You can't see yourself going back to him, and you don't love your father anymore. So, you have your whole life ahead, and you just feel that this is the right time for you to tell them that you're in a relationship. Okay, so tell them that you're in a relationship, and then see how they sort of take it. Afterwards, as things progress, you can also tell them that, now you're actually pregnant. The thing is, however you want to look at it, your children are a part of your life. I don't think that you should abort it, especially because this guy actually does care about you. He hasn't given you any reason to doubt him. He's been there for you 24/7, and he's actually made you feel loved. And you've never felt like that before, okay? Because it's a good thing. So I don't think it's a lost case. I just think how you handle it is what matters at this particular time. So tell your kids and just run with it. After you tell them, it's also very important to know how the guy feels, because then if you're not on the same page as the guy and then you tell them, I'm just wondering how it's all going, is it going to backfire? What's going to happen? So you also have to be selfish about your happiness. It's been a long time coming. You didn't ask for your for your husband to do what he did, but it is what it is. You don't see yourself going back to him anytime soon. So tell them, keep the baby and have a happy life with this man, but just do things the right way. Just do whatever that needs to be done, especially before the baby is born. You see what I mean? So have that conversation too with the man. Make sure that your feet is grounded in the relationship that you're in, so that, when you're even having that conversation with your children, you know what you're standing on, or you know that, okay, this guy has definitely got your back. But if the relationship is sort of lukewarm and the guy is trying to sort of have a fun time with you, then it's Charlie, where are you at? So first things first, know what you're doing with this guy. Get the 110% approval, especially in your mind. And then tell your kids, but just space the timing out. That's what I think, so that at least they know that you're in a relationship. And you're not smiling at this man 24/7. No, so Charlie, they need to understand, and you'll be fine.
All right, Rosina, coming to you.
Okay, so first things first, the age isn't really a problem. And secondly, her children are 25 and 21. And luckily for her, the eldest is 25 and has also been married for 3 years. So I'm sure being a married woman herself should have probably encountered one or two things in her own marriage for her to understand some of the things that she may be dealing with now. So I just want to add to what the sisters have said, that I would advise that she takes it up with her first daughter first. Being the fact that she's also a lady, and then come clean with her. Of course, you and their father have been separated for a while. You're not even living together or anything. So it's not like the children are unaware about what is happening between the two of you. They just hope that the two of you will come back together and reconcile. But this is the case. The man is also living his own life with another woman. So clearly, you can't be left alone in the dark. The man is not paying attention to you. The man is also busily hurting himself somewhere. You are separated, heading for divorce. So honestly speaking, I think that you should just start talking to your children that, look, it's quite disappointing. I waited a long time. I was hoping that we could sort our differences out and live together as a family. However, XYZ, explain it to them, let them understand it. Now, when they understand it, in the beginning, they might go like, oh no, mommy, why? It would have worked the last time. But after some time, they would understand because they are human, especially the older girl. And then you can move to the 21-year-old boy and then try and work it out. The 21-year-old boy is the one you probably have an issue with because he's going to think that 21 and 38, no. I mean, this man is not old enough to be my dad and all of that. But it depends on how you treat him and how you explain things to him. And honestly speaking, if the issues exist such that you are separated, the children are not dumb. They know exactly what is going on. They just wish their family was a unit. But if their father is living with a different woman, I'm sure they know. It won't be news to them.
Yeah.
Now, the third thing about the dating. Now, when you are not available, when I'm saying not available, as in you are still legally married and you are dating somebody else, it's very easy for the person to tick your boxes.
True.
Because it doesn't come with that added pressure of marry me, be with me. You see, the person comes in and the person knows that I really like this girl. She's a really nice person. Her husband is taking her through some terrible times. I really love her. I click with her and everything. But that hard decision to probably want to settle and stuff like that, it's possible that this other lawyer guy has not really thought about it. But for him, you are a good person. You're a good heart. He enjoys being with you and he enjoys spending time with you. You also, and the way you describe him, he's your safety net, he's your this, he's your that. I mean, I could imagine the kind of relationship you have. A lot of talking, he understands you, he allows you to vent. But the moment you become official, he might not be all of that to you.
Yeah.
The honeymoon phase would have been over. So that's what you need to really consider, that where is the guy at? Is he at a place where he wants to go the long haul with you, or is just friends with benefits? Or what exactly? Where is he at? So if he's at a place where he really wants to take the long haul with you, then you know where you are headed, like Olivia said. But if he enjoys your time, he likes you, he likes spending time with you. However, he doesn't have in mind a picture of you and him married, raising a family, probably having stepkids who are almost as old as he is. That thought probably hasn't even sunk in yet, because he's probably thinking that, oh, mommy, they are separated. That's what is giving him the conscience to be with you.
Right.
However, you're not divorced. So as far as he's concerned, you're not really available for that talk. That's one. And then secondly, if you are even available with him, the question still rings that, is there going to be that part in his head that whilst you were legally still married to your husband and there were issues, you were dating me, enough. All these things are discussions for later, but now let's forget about that one. Now about the child. You see, sometimes we women, we need to own what happens to us and deal with the consequences. Now, that child was made out of love. The child didn't ask to be made. You were genuinely happy and excited to be with him, and that's why that happened, even though it was done in the wrong setting. The question is that, do you want the child? That's the question you need to answer. and you're 49 years old, clear it with your gynecologist. If it's safe for you, considering your medical conditions, to have the child. If you can have that child medically, and you yourself now you want the child, honestly speaking, it doesn't really matter whether the man wants it or not. It's about whether the man is ready to step out to the task as a father. So not whether the man wants to, whether the man would marry you and be in the setting of a family or not. If the man is ready to play the father role for the child, be it that you've been married, gone through the whole grind, you've been separated for so long, maybe you might not even want marriage to begin with. But if the man is able to step up to the task, he's financially sound, you yourself, you also have some money, I mean, really, that's a decision that both of you should take. But by all means, like Olivia said, run it by him and let him know that you are pregnant and the way forward, whether you guys want to keep it and whether you guys want to have it. But please don't jump to another marriage because you are pregnant. Jump into it sensibly because you really want it. So all in all, age isn't a matter. You and your husband, you're already done. There's nothing that can bring you back together. And once you started jumping into another man's AUD, then that means that the possibility of you coming back is almost non-existent. Your kids are old. They would understand. Even if they are angry in the beginning, they would understand. You understand? And then it's just a matter of time. The thing is, the most important thing now here is be sure where you are at with this gentleman. Make sure you're on the same wavelength. Otherwise, you might get a shock when you finish the divorce and you think that, okay, now the divorce is finished, I'm available, let's get together, let's get married. And then he's going to say things like, oh, I wasn't really prepared for this, and I wasn't ready to get married now to raise kids and all of that. And then you send us another message and say that the guy lied to you the whole time and pretended he really liked you. But I did.
Yeah. You know, Rosina, of all the things that you've said, like what really stands out for me is the fact that it's easy to feel like this other person you're not married to who's in your life is the best thing that's ever happened to you. And it's also because you're not living with them and you're not seeing like all those petty things that would ordinarily irk you if it was coming from your husband. That's so profound for me. It's a common case of the grass is greener elsewhere sort of thing, you know. But yeah, that's definitely something she needs to look at. But I mean, like all the ladies have said, you know, you're 49, you're no child. But for me, also check to see if it's healthy for you to have a baby at that age, you know. Important. I know some women have done it, but just look at, because we all know your complications could get even, or the risks get higher, you know, as you wait that longer to have kids. So check it first. If it's not going to put your life in danger, then maybe you should just have it. What's the worst that could happen? Your husband's moved on anyway, you know, and then get the divorce done so at least you can move on properly with this new guy. We wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for watching Sister Sister on your favorite Citi TV. Now, don't forget, if you want some more exciting content, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel. We call it the Citi Tube. And don't forget to click on the bell to receive notifications for fresh updates. Sister Sister, every Friday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV.